because those streams are where we get our water from. Those riparian areas protect the stream. Certain riparian areas are not that sensitive to drought, and certain areas are very sensitive to drought. And so if an area is not that sensitive, then it would be resilient. Drought happens, it doesn't change much. Or if it does change, it bounces right back to being healthy. So if it gets sick, it gets right back. Not having resiliency would be you have a drought and it dies, and you no longer have a riparian area. So that's the idea, of trying to find ways to build resiliency in our riparian areas. One that we're using is reintroducing a beaver. What they do is they build dams. The dams store water behind them. That increases the water that goes out into the floodplains and into the riparian area, which then increases the storage and resiliency of the vegetation. You reintroduce beaver into an entire area and you can really store a lot more water in that system, whether it's a drought or not.
When I first came here 27 years ago, it was already there. That's how long they lived there for multiple generations. So when I came to stay at the hostel, the previous people who were here, they took me out like I took you out and showed me the dam and the lodge. Yeah, back then there was the river was further away, so there was actually beavers living in there year round. So they had actually babies in the lodge. So when you were really quiet, you could stay there. You could hear them talking to each other. It was really, really cool. A lot of the beavers in North America were all trapped back in the 1700s and 1800s during the fur trade era, because they were fashioned in Europe. They would make hats out of the beaver pelt. But over here on the other side of the park, the Blackfeet Indians, they never trapped beaver, because to them, the beaver was like a brother. It showed them how to live in the winter, how to build shelters. So that's their, philosophy.
People still trap. I just wish that on key drainages, they would ban trapping. They could say on this river and this reach, we will not allow it anymore. Fish, Wildlife, and Parks as a state agency could do that. They're the ones that issue hunting licenses and trapping licenses.
There is beaver trapping, and our agency manages that as well. What beavers do by, felling trees and creating dams and storing water is by and large very helpful for a river system, especially in desert climates or drier climates. By and large, beaver are good for river systems. Unless you've just planted new trees and they're eating your trees, then they're not so good.
If you're a farmer or a rancher, you're constantly fighting these beavers to keep your irrigation up.
Some people just don't like beaver. What do you think of these people thinking the beaver like
They're very selfish, because they think just of themselves, and their trees and their agriculture and their rivers or whatever. But there's a bigger picture, and there's a bigger place for everything that can live, and then it's a more beautiful place.